another episode of Project Talk, PropTiger's initiative to connect home buyers to the experts in the industry from the comfort of their homes. I'm Sneha Sharon, your host for the day, and today we're going to talk about Concorde, Auriga. I'm joined by Mr. RJ Anil, Executive Director at Concorde. Welcome.
Thank you.
Mr. Akshay Grover, AGM at Concorde. Welcome. Mr. Swaroop Shashi Roshan, Channel Sales Head at Concorde. Welcome. And from PropTiger, we are joined by Mr. Naveen, Pareek. Welcome.
Thank you.
Warm welcome once again to all my panelists. Now, the project in focus today is Concorde Auriga in KR. Now, Auriga may very well be a coveted address because its focus is on providing a lifestyle fit for the city, minus the problems of living in a concrete jungle. PropTiger is India's leading real estate advisory firm to have served more than 25,000 home buyers throughout their journey at zero brokerage for customers. Now, before we begin the session, may I request somebody from Team Concorde and Mr. Pareek to go ahead with a brief introduction of the companies they're representing. Team Concorde.
Hi. Thanks, Sneha. So basically, PropTiger, most of the people in this industry might know about what we are, but the rest, we are one of the India's and the largest real estate advisory firm. And we have a presence across this country in the 9 cities with what we are present in. This is almost into end-to-end assistance and a one-stop solution for most of our customers. So, right now, nowadays, customers, instead of going to multiple people for their doubts, they can come and assisting them in like a visit, helping them in final negotiation, and also like after sales service in terms of loan or documentation part. So till now, we have sold like only home buyers, and we have sold a property worth of 15,000 crore plus. So that's what our PropTiger is, and very thanks, and I welcome all of our guests and the Concorde team. We have our wonderful leaders from Concorde who will be happy to assist about all the queries, and they'll take it forward about the presentation. And Concorde is a developer and Auriga is in project. So welcome and thanks to all of you.
Thank you, Team Concorde.
Thank you again, Naveen. Thank you, Sneha. First, introducing myself again, I'm Swaroop. I head the channel sales for Concorde Group. Been with the company for more than 8.5 years now. And I would like to start by thanking PropTiger, Team PropTiger, for giving us such a beautiful platform to showcase us. And we have been having a winning partnership all this while. We look forward to continuing that as well. Now, talking about Concorde itself, we've been in this real estate industry for the last 21 years, and we have developed 21 million square feet across Bangalore. We have, we have been developing residential spaces across the IT hubs. Today, what we drive is the customer-centric approach and employee first as well. See, there are two things which we actually focus on. Right, so these things defines us as Concorde Group. Employee first, treating the employees right, the vendors right, and also customer first approach as well is driving us to the point where we are today. So, thank you again. We look forward for the questions and presenting you our project.
Thank you. Now, before we begin discussing about Concorde Auriga, let's see a little project video. This is for the benefit of our viewers.
Known as the Silicon Valley of India, Bangalore is the capital of Karnataka and is one of the most developed metropolis in the country. The development in the IT sector has made Bangalore the center of high-tech industry with many MNCs setting up their bases here. Bangalore has also been the birthplace of several now multi-billion-dollar companies. There has also been a tremendous growth in the demand of residential units over the last 2 years. Old Madras Road is one of Bengaluru's fastest developing localities, owing to its connectivity as well as proximity to major business areas of the city. Well-known property developers in the recent past are setting up their stations for their respective ventures in and around this locality, as it has drawn people when it comes to investment choices. One such premier developer is Concorde Group. Concorde has been delivering end-user satisfaction by innovative designs and strong competence since its establishment in 1988. Concorde Auriga on Old Madras Road is a testament to this. With uninterrupted lake view from your apartment at Concorde Auriga is regarded as an ideal opportunity for profitable investment opportunities, as it provides wonderful services in accordance with customer requirements and the industry standards. Welcome to a paradise of fabulous abodes that redefine class. Welcome to Concorde Auriga.
So that's Concorde Auriga for all our viewers. Let's quickly move on to some questions. Mr. Anil, my first question is for you. Now, what are the immediate challenges that developers will have to face? And as a brand, what are you doing as a company, and how are things planned ahead? Mr. Anil.
Yeah, hi. See, currently the biggest issue where not only us or the entire India, all the developers are facing is a lot of labor issues because there's a lot of migration happening from Karnataka to other states, from other states to here. So we are facing a lot of labor issues. But luckily for us, what has happened is that we have tried to retain almost around 70 to 80% of the laborers are still with us. We are only facing the problem of 10 to 15%. So this is the biggest issue currently we are facing. And apart from that, also where a lot of other industries are trying to look at pay cuts happening across all the other departments, and there's a lot of job losses which may come up in next quarter. That's one of the problem which we are seeing. Also, if you look at the finance perspective, there's a liquidity crisis which is happening across the India. And as we speak, yesterday we had some incentives coming from government of India in terms of finances, which will help us, I think. So these are the problems which we are facing. But luckily for us, our sales have not been hit very badly. We saw a dip of approximately 15 to 20%. And so how we're going to overcome all these challenges is, one is the entire real estate market is going to digital. So what we are giving all the customers who are not able to come here due to lockdown is that we are giving all them the virtual site visits, virtual walkthrough, and all the 4D plans we are giving it. Everything is online now. And apart from that, we are coming up with very good plans such as price protection plan. Like if you book one, like there's no any cancellation fee and guarantee for value appreciation. This is one scheme. And recently we have rolled out another plan called Concorde Assurance Plan. Because if someone books, customer comes and books an apartment from us, if he's going to lose a job for another 6 to 8 months, we will try to take over his EMI up to 8 to 9 months. This is one of the assurance plan which we are giving. So apart from that, we are taking care of all our laborers. We are telling, we are sanitizing the places. We're giving the masks, and we are telling all them to, sign up for this Auriga Setu app. So these are the things which we are taking up from the company's side.
Thank you. Mr. Pareek, coming to you, how have Bengalurians taken to the digital shift? Now, before COVID-19, what was the role of online technology platforms, and now what's the way forward?
So I believe that technology plays a very vital role when it comes to our industry. So it's not only about COVID-19. Before COVID-19 as well, customers, 50% of the work happened to online only. Customers used to go Google it up about the properties. They used to look at the plans, shortlisting the project. Good amount of homework they used to do through online before COVID as well. But now after this, I believe the dependency on online platform will increase by default, because the traveling will reduce. The physical site visit will reduce. So before, they used to visit at least 3 or 4 times to a particular project. So I believe now they will do most amount of homework at home only. So 90% of the work I believe they will do with the assistance of builder as well as channel partner. I mean, but yeah, being an Indian, we need to have a touch and feel, and then we have to buy. So I mean, just before finalization, once they will definitely will visit. So I mean that physical visit will reduce, but again, that's how the technology will growing. The best example what we are saying is, facing right now is the webinar. I mean, we are able to connect hundreds of customers in this, and we are attracting mass audience. So I mean, technology obviously is a very fruitful thing to us, and it will play a very vital role. And the physical side visit will reduce. But yeah, again, I mean, 90% of that's what I believe. I mean, the coming year or so, because the COVID-19 will not go just like that, as been told by honorable Prime Minister. So it will take good amount of time. So till that time, I believe that the visit will be less. More of an online platform will come up, and people will do transactions. The only thing is, I mean, builders and channel partners have to be more user friendly in terms of their website, in terms of their apps, and even in terms of their transaction, so that it will be a smooth and friendly transition happening between a customer and a builder. So that's how I think technology will help us in further as well.
Well said, Mr. Pareek. We'll move on to Team Concorde once again. Now, what are some of the features and amenities that local buyers are looking for, and how does Concorde take care of this demand?
I will take that question. Thank you, Sneha. So,
Go ahead.
what is the customer looking at today? Is it's back to basics. I would say back to basics when I say they want a spacious home, right? They want a spacious home as well as a good community to live in today. With the situations like lockdown, where they have to sit inside the house for how many ever days we have been sitting, right, for 45 days or 50 days. The community, if it is a very spacious community where their kids can actually go out, they don't have to be claustrophobic. That's what we are targeting today. 90% of our project has an open space today, right? So plus the people are moving into work from home option now. That is going to be the new trend. So we see that the customers are looking out for additional room space for their work from home option without any distractions. They could continue their work as well as go on with their normal life. This is going to be the new normal. We'll have to accept it, and we'll have to do things around it now. Yeah. Thank you.
Moving on. Now, what are the USPs of Auriga?
The USPs of Auriga are basically, the question is too generic. I would say there are too many things to speak about. But honestly speaking, we have a 5 acres of land, which is 90% is open space, in which 60% is a green cover in it, which is a very added advantage to the customer today, those who are searching for something in this concrete jungle. It's right on Old Madras Road, so there is no connectivity issue in the project, as well as 70% of the project is overlooking the lake. So you have a beautiful scenic view, you have a breath of fresh air, you have a lot of greenery around you, and inside the project you have 90% as open space. There are more things to talk about this. I will cover those in the presentation.
We look forward to it. Mr. Swaroop, coming to you, who is your target audience? Also, does the location lend any benefits in, say, attracting outsiders to this area?
That's a very good question, Sneha. Who's our target audience today, right? Being in the middle of the hub of all the IT parks around, it is a very obvious. The answer is a very obvious one, that it is most of the IT professionals are looking at investing with us here, and we have seen that with the number of sales what we had done, what the transactions that have gone through, we've seen that 80% of the buyers are IT professionals who are working around this region. I'm talking about a radius of around 10 kilometers. And also we also have investments coming in from NRIs who are looking at setting up a good space once they're back. They're looking at that as their backup space as well. So we've seen a spike of NRI sales in the last 2 months. So this is what we should be looking at going forward.
Thank you, Mr. Swaroop. Now, before we move ahead, may I request one of you from Team Concorde to walk us through the project presentation?
Thank you, Sneha, again. So, just to give you an overview of why invest in KR Puram, right? That's the whole agenda today. What is special about this location? I see there are a lot of customers here who are from Bangalore, and I see a lot of customers who are from outside Bangalore as well. For your understanding, KR Puram is a location which is right in between. It's a connection to the north and the east part of Bangalore. That's the corridor where it is called the IT hub corridor of Bangalore, right? So this is where most of our which is already developed, and we have more developments coming in as well, like the KDB Park, which is getting set up in this region, which is going to host a lot of big MNCs like Boeing, Bombard. Name the companies. We are talking about all the big companies which is going to be set up. Google is coming in here. So this is KR Puram is located in such a strategic position to the IT companies, towards the airport connectivity, and the connectivity to the public transportation like metro, and also the educational hubs and the malls that is around. So the three key aspects that is driving this location is the connectivity, the infrastructure that is come up, as well as the employment factor. See, end of the day, we are all looking at a place that we, as Concord, we always invested in a place where we see in the future in it, right? Key aspects that is driving this aspects what we focused on, and that is the key driving factor for us to invest here. Now, we have the metro line, which is actually connecting this location to across Bangalore, right? So now we all have to accept that Bangalore has been, traffic is something which we are living with, but metro has been a boon for the Bangalore market. And it is, we are only seeing the 50% of the efficiency of the metro today. We have another 50% efficiency of the metro to be seen in the coming years as well. So we see that people are not worried about living in any location in Bangalore today, irrespective of care. But what we have an advantage in KR Puram is that it is closer to the airport. It is also connected to the metro lines. And also, again, as I told you, infrastructure-wise, it is the development-wise, if you compare to across Bangalore, it is much better planned than other part of Bangalore. And as you can see, our project is right in midst of all the IT parks. To give you the figures, if you ask me, around 6 lakh employees work around the location of KR Puram. I'm talking about both the corridors of Outer Ring Road, Marthelli, and we're talking about the Outer Ring Road closer to the Hebbal. Now we have 6 lakh employees working here, and plus we have more people coming in with the KDB development, right? So we see this being one of the key factors for us to invest. And not only as a lot of top developers have placed themselves here to take advantage of it. And this is your right time to invest in this particular location. And it's not only about the infrastructure. See, as a customer, you are also looking at, it's not only about your workspace nearby, right? It's about other aspects of life as well. You have a life around your work as well, like your schools, you talk about hospitals, you're talking about malls around. This is what is another driving factor for people to invest in KR Puram and the location of what we call as Old Madras Road. We have all these aspects. We are not talking about small developments here. We have malls like Phoenix City, Market City, such a big mall in this locality, which is catering to the major crowd as well. Along with, we have 3 other malls around here. Plus, there are hospitals which have been already set up. See, what I see is that every customer, when he looks at, there are few aspects what he looks at. He looks at his work, he looks at his schools for his kids, hospitals for emergency, and the shopping spaces for his leisure. And it is meeting all the requirements. I don't see any other reason why a person should not invest in around KR Puram. And this is one of the research we have done. It's a residential market overview of the whole space. Just to give you an understanding where how the people are investing and what you can expect from your investment today. Now, the absorption rate in this market, most of the what we see is highest number of sales that is happening is with 2 and the smaller 3 BHKs. That is, we are talking about a size varying between 1,000 to 1,450 to 1,500. This is the highest moving units in this location. And this particular market is attracting 3.2% of ROI. and that is it's meeting the standards of Bangalore, where for a residential at least. See, we cannot compare it with the commercial returns. In a residential return, when anything between 2.5 to 4% is doing a, it's a good market to invest in. And also, if you're asking me about the how are we meeting this, matching this gap in demand, people are saying there is a lot of inventories. I think in the market has a lot of inventory. The prices has to be dropped, which I see a lot of questions coming in as well on those lines. But I'll tell you the fact here: 6 lakh employees. Last year we had 3,000 units, which has gone to the market as a new launch, right? And absorption rate has been 2,400 units. Now it gives you a complete picture of the market. Is there a demand or not? Yes, of course there is a demand. Out of the 6 lakh employees, more than 60% are today living in a rented space here, right? So they're maybe living in a 1 BHK. They won't upgrade themselves to 2 BHK. 2 BHK guys won't upgrade into 3 BHK. The demand is always going to be there. The market as a whole, pricing wise, if you ask me, it's between 4,900 to 5,800 is the running price in this location. Having said this, I would like my associate Akshay to take over this and brief the project. I'm sure you'll get much more details from him regarding the project itself.
Thank you, Sarup. Thank you, Sarup. As Concorde Auriga is there, it is a breath of fresh air, which is enclosed in 5 acres of land, as I said, with a 90% of open space. It is located ideally near KR Puram and bang on near Yele Malappa Shetty Lake on Old Madras Road. The whole project idea, or the project when this was made, or when it was actually being picturized, was to give people the space, the lung space, which that crowd actually needs. Today, when we see in Whitefield, the whole idea, wherever they go or wherever they see a concrete jungle around them. So when this project was being designed, when it was being picturized as a whole, it was being, the first priority that was given was that it gives the fresh air that the India or the Bangalore crowd requires today. It's a G+28 building, and it is as bang on Old Madras Road. When we see the project all together, there are 3 blocks in it. All 3 blocks are in L-shaped in structure, so that the block overshadows the other, due to which you get good ventilation as well as light in your project. On the terms of amenities, on the ground floor, you guys have a pool, a multi-purpose court, a tennis court, a futsal, a mini golf course, an amphitheater, kids play area. So all the amenities which you are getting in the area or around. You have a rooftop clubhouse which has an infinity pool in it, with a banquet hall and an outdoor and an indoor gym. So amenity wise, whatever the area actually asks for, you are getting it here. Our clubhouse is called as Club Evolve, in which, as I said, you are getting an infinity pool overlooking the lake. So you have a beautiful view of the lake at the 24th floor. You have a banquet hall, you have a multi-purpose banquet hall, you have a squash court, badminton court, you have 3 guest rooms. So everything that today's Bangalore market requires. The design of the house is done in such a way that you get a better space within your house. It's not cramped, or you don't feel claustrophobic in your house. As I said, the designs are such that you get optimum sunlight. Now, this is a very amazing slide that has come into picture. We have actually made it possible that if we keep the building at the center, what is the movement of the sun from east to west? In Bangalore, there are majorly 3 weathers: monsoon, winters, and summers. In all the 3 weathers, what will be the movement of the sun across the project? Due to which we could analyze, we could contemplate what will be the light penetration inside the building. This is something that we can physically show when the building is ready. But to show them at this level, at this juncture, was something that was extraordinarily done for Concorde Auriga. So if you see, there will be maximum, there are scales involved in it, in which you have a 510 plus lux, which will be marked as yellow, and there will be a 110 lux, which will be marked as blue. So if you move on to the, could I just have a next slide, please? So if you see here, the building itself is having a highest penetration of light throughout the day. This was done, or the scale was taken on 21st of September at 12 p.m. So you can see that every house is getting good light among it. The next feature that we have added in on Auriga is that we are giving you an 8-feet door with a 2 feet of ventilator to give you maximum cross ventilation within the project. The whole idea about is there are two major components. Whatever somebody in looks for is the ventilation and the light. If you have ample natural light in the house, it is considered to be really nice. The next feature, which is the need of the hour these days, is the technology, the Alexa enabled houses. So we don't want our houses to become primitive. So we have added an extra feature so that we are in the run for the future. So you have Alexa enabled houses, you have motion sensors in your washrooms to even save electricity, and it should look niche in the project. Talking about your living spaces and your dining spaces, you will have maximum light, and you will have, as I said, there will be no cramped or dead spaces within the house. The floor plans are optimally designed and will give you a feel of a well designed spacious house. Talking about the prices, all the 2 BHK starting from 833 square feet to 1164 square feet will be in the price bracket of 48 lakhs to 65 lakhs, all inclusive except registration. And the 3 BHK starting from a 1312 square feet goes up to 1758 will be in the price bracket of 75 lakhs to 95 lakhs, all inclusive except registration, which is 20% less than the market standards today in that area. The whole eye candy about the pricing is that you have that edge and the price benefit that you are looking for along with a beautiful house of yours. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Swaroop and Mr. Akshay, for a very well presented presentation. We'll quickly move on to the audience questions now. I'll also request our audience to keep pouring in their questions. We'll accommodate as many as possible. We'll pick up the first one that we've received from Mr. Raman Gaikonde. I am a Mumbaiker, often coming to Bangalore for business and interested in a 2 BHK. Do 2 BHKs move in the market? How's the resale market? Mr. Akshay, would you want to answer?
That's a very good question. We have a lot of clientele in Bangalore that does a lot of travel, and they are looking to invest in Bangalore. A 2 BHK would be a very good option for you because of the ticket size that it is there. Plus, you will get a good appreciation on the flat as well. Talking about the resale market, since a 2 BHK is an eye candy for a first home buyers, you will have a larger pool of customers to sell it to. I would really suggest you to go for a 2 BHK as it will appreciate, give you a better return, as well as it would be easy for you to liquidate.
Thank you, Akshay. Mr. Swaroop, we have another question coming in from Pranjal Srivastav. He's asking, I'm an investor and I wish to invest in a 1 or 2 BHK unit. I want to understand, are there job hubs nearby so that I can put my property on rent?
Again, that's a very good question again. If you're an investor today, what you should be looking at is you should be investing. First thing is you need to invest in an asset class investment, irrespective of your. We are from Concorde, but I'm telling you on a generic note here. So you need to invest on an asset class, not on a liability class, right? So liability investments will only burn your pockets more, right? So you need to look at an investment which is not going to hit you much as well. So you should always go with the 2 BHK. 1 BHK, or I would, as a personal friend, I would not suggest to go with the 1 BHK. Simple reason being, with the mindsets of people changing right now, being the demand for larger size in rise. So I would request investors to look at 2 BHK as the prime option for you to go ahead. Because it is easier to sell. The ticket size is not going to be a pinch in the pocket for the next buyer to buy. Rentals are also easier to fetch as well for a 2 BHK. That's the highest rental the demand is for 2 BHK, as you know. So I think that answers most of the questions. As Akshay has also addressed the same
So
thing.
adding on to what Mr. Swaroop said, I mean, we have one more option in this project, which is very unique, which is like 2 bedroom plus 1T. So I mean, which not much of the developer provides you in the market. So I mean, any customers who have a budget constraint, I mean, just because of 2 BHK, he can't able to stretch that much of amount, he can look for this option. So I mean, 2 bedroom plus one toilet is one thing which I think can suit his budget requirement as well, if the budget is the constant.
Thank you. Thank you, Swaroop and Pareek. We'll move on to the next question that's coming from Kanishk Jain. Mr. Swaroop, can you answer this? What is the future of Bangalore real estate? Is there any scope of price correction?
Real estate has been the boxing bag for the economy whenever it goes down, right? So anything happens in the economy, the price correction, first thing they say, the price correction in the real estate. But you need to understand where the real estate is standing today. We survived the recession, we survived the demonetization, we've been hit there as well, right? So we are standing in a point, again, another small hiccup, I would say, but we've just been recovering. The scope for price correction is actually a very illogical point right now, because where is the chance for the price correction? We have already been hit. Okay, 20 years ago, a builder would have been having a margin of 50-60%. Today, the margins have dropped below 15%. With the overhead charges, it drops below 10% again. Now, price correction is never going to be a challenge. But if you ask me, I cannot talk about all the builders today, but I can tell you about Concorde. When we go to a market, we normally correct the pricing there. With the pricing what we come into the market, it's already a corrected pricing, so we are already having a very competitive pricing in that sense.
I just wanted to add for whatever Swaroop is saying. See, Bangalore, if you look at pan India, Bangalore is known as one of the safest market, where like Bombay or Delhi, where the price will go up immediately or price is going to squash down immediately. But Bangalore, the variation doesn't happen so quickly. And at the same time, talking about the price correction, see now, as you know, that real estate is not what it used to be 1 decade ago, and all the developers are working with a margin of 15 to 20%, and that's what we are doing across Bangalore.
Thank you. Our next question is coming from Sanjay Choraria. Is there any special offer for buyers who will buy in your project within the next 1 or 2 months? Mr. Akshay.
Interesting question. As Mr. Anil has already said and given you a brief about it, there will be a price protection plan saving you your interest in it, as well as the price assurance plan that we are soon rolling it out. Both the plans put together will actually help the customer in today's market scenario.
Just to add to Akshay, I would request the mindset has to change from, it should not be a price oriented thing. You need to focus on what is the value of the pricing, what you're investing on. Is it the product what you really want to invest? Just because someone is giving it at a lesser price, is it meeting your requirement? I think the mindset has to change from a price, okay, it's getting a better discount. It should be more value, proposition should be better than the price discounts. Yeah, these are all the things we keep. We have the offers rolled out to have, keep the customers happy, right? But end of the day, the customer has to decide what is he investing on. Is it actually getting him a long-term returns? Is it an asset class investment? What he is doing today?
Thank you. The next question is coming in from Arush John, who's asking, we are a joint family willing to invest in 2 properties in this project. How is the security in this project since it is near a job hub? Mr. Swaroop?
As we addressed before, when you're investing in a property like this, again, I'm repeating myself, this is an asset class investment, what you're looking at. which is actually going to give you a good growth of money as well if you're looking at investment. And jobs, yes, as I mentioned earlier, there are 6 lakh employees working around this location. And with the KIDB coming in, we have the employment spike of around 35 to 40% there in this location. So if you're in the IT sector, or you're in a manufacturing sector, or in a finance sector, you should not be worried about moving into a location like KR Puram, because it is catering you. Tomorrow, if you're changing jobs as well, your job locations will not shift much. You might be traveling from right now, you might be traveling from one part to east, you might be traveling to the north, towards the north. So that should not affect you much. But as for the job aspect wise, there's a lot of options and a lot of companies around here. Just to give you just Manyata Tech Park hosts 1.5 lakh employees. And the similarly Bagmani Tech Park hosts 1 lakh 50,000 employees there as well. So there are a lot of companies there. Google is setting up their space as well. Boeing is coming. Bombard is setting up their research unit. So there's a lot of things coming in. It's we see only positives from here. We cannot go more below this. I think I see only positives from here to go ahead.
Thank you. My next question is addressed to you, Mr. Anil. Ranjan Kamath is asking, is this project registered with RERA? Will there be any delay in completion?
See, yeah, thank you. See, we are in an industry for almost 21 years. We just completed 20 years last year with 20 million square feet. All our projects across Concorde is RERA approved, and we don't do any deviation. We are RERA. We have all our projects RERA approved. And when you look at the completion of the project, we have taken 4+1, that's 4 years plus 1 year additional. And with COVID-19, now we got a relaxation from government of India saying that you can ask for an additional 6-month extension because a lot of labor issues happened from last 1 month. So that's an added advantage. So we have that additional, almost we have 5.5 years. So there won't be any delay from our side. We will be sticking into RERA guidelines, and we have already started the construction. We have hit the ground 45 like 2 months back. We just had a slight delay due to that COVID-19. Apart from that, we are on time in delivering the project.
Good to know that, Mr. Anil. Now, the next question is, what is the PLC charges like? What is the availability of units as of now? This is from Mr. K. Satyanathan Nair.
See, the total, the total number of units in this project is 501 units. Out of 501, we have sold almost around 170 units as of now. We have launched the projects around 5 months back, if I'm not wrong. And we have 10% PLC, which we are charging for a park facing any premium units. And we have very good amount of inventory. We have, see, our biggest USP is the ticket prices. If you look at the ticket prices, we don't go more than 80 lakhs or 85 lakhs.
Thank you. The next question is coming in from Vidyanath Satpati. Now, this is almost a repetition, but I think it's a pertinent issue. Mr. Anil, would you answer this? Are all your land papers and other documents clean and available? I have heard a lot of builders being accused, but home buyers get to know of all this only much later, which leads to our loss. What are the approvals that you have in place as of now? Mr. Anil.
That's a good question. This question we keep getting from all the customers. As I said earlier, we are not new for this business. We are there from last 21 years. We have all the clear vetted documents. All the documents have been submitted to RERA, and this property comes under the BBMP jurisdiction. We have got a plan approval from the BBMP, and everything is up to date. Land is, the real estate, entire real estate starts from the land. If your land is good, then you get the building, then you get all your marketing, everything comes into place. So when we look at land, we make sure it's 100%, there's no issues in the land. And now with this land is right next to lake, which was, earlier it was 75-meter buffer, then it came down to luckily 35 meters buffer. So legally everything is speaking, everything is through, and we have got it's been approved by all the nationalized banks. Our biggest bank is SBI. Once SBI approves it, most of the banks by default they approve it. So the titles are pretty much available.
Thank you. Our next question is for Team Concord. What is the water supply and power supply situation like? This is a question from V.A. Athani.
Sorry, come again.
Mr. V.A. Athani is talking about what is the water supply and power supply situation like? Anybody from Team Concord can answer.
See, power situation. See, it's an approved. It's an approved project, so we don't have any kind of issues from the power. It'll be a proper BESCOM sanction thing, and luckily we in terms of water. See, it's as I said earlier, it's right next to the lake, so the water level is pretty good. We have sufficient bore wells as of now. We have close to around 4-5 bore wells. We just started the construction, and from the government of Karnataka, there is already a pipeline running across the project, so water shouldn't be a problem.
Thank you.
Also, I just wanted to add one more point here, and there's a new gas line which is running across the project from the GAIL. So as a thing, we are talking to GAIL and try to get a gas connection directly for the project. Is an added advantage.
The next question is coming from Birendra Raya. Mr. Akshay, can you answer this? Is there any price protection scheme that you're offering now? What are the ongoing discounts for genuine buyers? If you could just elaborate on that.
See, as we have already mentioned, there will be a price protection plan for all the customers that are booking in this month. And about the discounts, I would really like to meet the person we basically don't reveal our prices on a public forum like this. But definitely, I would love to meet the person and we'll discuss on it.
Mr. Raya, can get in touch with PropTiger or Team Concord for more information. We move on to the next question. We have senior citizens at home. They will want to live in an open and nice locality. Is this project suitable? This is a question from Mr. Vikas Reddy, Team Concord.
I would, as I think Akshay mentioned, this project is spread across 5 acres, out of which only 10% is your building space out of the entire 5 acres, and almost on 70% is your green lush garden. If you look at the entire project, so I think it's better suited for the senior citizens because it's a lush garden, and also it's not somewhere in the central place where there's a lot of noise. This is a little bit on the outskirts, so I think it's better for the senior citizens to come and stay happily, I would say.
Thank you. Mr. Gautam Kotian is asking, how is public transport in this neighborhood? Also, what are some of the facilities outside this housing society?
See, public transport, if you look at starting from metro is almost, it's 1 kilometer away from our site. So, but it's still under construction. So I think probably another 4 years they'll be completing it. It's coming under phase 3, if I'm not wrong. And from there, for the airport, it's just 40 minutes drive from our project. And local transportation is very much there. That's the update on the transportation.
The next question is from Dhruv Gandhi. Are there any penthouses or villas in this project?
There's nothing such as penthouses, as we have, provided the clubhouse on 28th floor. The last 2 floors is complete clubhouse with the pool overlooking the lake. So there's nothing really a penthouse. But we'll get a very good view of more than 8 or 9 floors.
This is a question for Mr. Pareek. My budget is 50 lakhs. Should I invest in KR Puram or Electronic City, which is a better location for rental income?
I mean, in that way, if you'll see, sir, I mean, 50 lakhs, the amount of options which you will see in East Bangalore, and even the kind of appreciation you will see in East Bangalore is quite higher because you have a multiple connectivity. You have a 2 connectivity towards, one is towards the North Bangalore. Because if you talk about Concorde, Auriga, you don't have to travel across the outer ring road. You can take an internal route which will connect you to North Bangalore. And even in terms of outer ring road, the customers who are staying right now in the projects like Tranquility or Solar Express or Brigade I mean, most of the customers are like working in the outer ring road or Whitefield. So I mean, if you'll see the overall crowd is more towards East Bangalore, and the kind of appreciation East Bangalore is seen in the entire Bangalore is tremendous. So I mean, as per my suggestion, if you have a range of 50 lakhs, I believe East Bangalore OMR is the best locality to invest.
Thank you. Mr. Vijay Mishra is asking us, is the property NGT Act certified? Is construction 75 meters apart from the lake?
Yes, it's
Team
pretty much,
Concorde.
yeah, it's pretty much NGT certified. So as I said earlier, it was 75 meters buffer, and now it came down to 35 meters buffer. After we getting clearance from the NGT itself, then we applied for the approvals, BBMP sanction, and we have received a BBMP sanction. We have no issues with the NGT. We are 100% NGT compliant.
Thank you. Now, this is a question I want both the developer firm and Mr. Pareek to answer. Is it worth buying properties in these days of financial crisis? And what all benefits Concorde Group is providing during these days? Now, we've already come across the benefits part. I'd like you to answer, is it a safe time to buy?
I'll address this one, Sneha. So, what I would, it's is it a right time to buy? Now, it all boils down to the who's asking the question. A person who's already owning a home, or he's a person who's living in a rented house now today, right? It all boils down to that. Does a person actually need to invest on the one? Does he need to upgrade himself today? Then he has to invest today, right? And if he's living in a rented house, it's good for him to invest today. This is the best time you could invest. I don't think so there is another best time to invest right now, because as any builder for that matter, right now they will, of course we're not as I hear a lot of things in the market that 20% 30% price correction. No, that is not going to happen. If a person if the builder is giving 3%, he might give you 4 to 5%. That is actually making a lot of difference for your finances as well. If you're a customer who's looking at investing today, this is the right time to invest, is what I would like to say.
Yeah, hi. So basically, the moment I heard this question, I mean, I can recollect a famous quote by Warren Buffett that you should be greedy when others are fearful. So I mean, this is the time. See, if you spend when the market is on the top, you will not fetch it much actually. But at this point, when the market is stagnant, and I mean, this is the right time. And real estate being a tangible asset with better returns, I think the chances of appreciation is pretty high at this point of time. So I believe this is the right time and the right place to invest in real estate.
Just to add, where else would you invest today? Right? Where else are you going to invest? Are you going to invest in the markets? Are you going to store it in the, save it in the bank? But where do you see the much better appreciation or much better security? Real estate. That's where it has always been. Real estate is the new gold, is the new oil. That's what you need to. And as they say, lands are not manufactured anymore, right? So it cannot be put better ways. So it is better to invest in the real estate today.
Team Concorde, somebody wants to understand what is the possession date of this project?
So we will be handing over the project in October 2023 with a grace period of 11 months with it, just to be safe. But as per our plan is concerned, by October 2023, keys are yours.
Mr. Pareek, we have a question for you. If I want to buy this property through PropTiger, what is the process?
The process is very simple. I mean, first of all, you have to Google it up. You have to come to PropTiger.com website, and you have to leave up your query. And we have our sales expert who will get in touch with you, and we will be more than happy to assist you regards to the visit. So we have our own process that we will conduct a meeting first of all. I mean, that's what our process starts. So we'll start with the meetings first. I mean, just because as of now we can't meet up, so we have an online hangout meet from where we can meet up. And accordingly, if you're feasible enough, we can arrange a visit for you, so you can come down to the site. And accordingly, if everything goes well, if you like the plants, if you like the location, if you like the surroundings, we can discuss about the final negotiation part. And if everything goes well, we can proceed ahead. I mean, you just have to Google it up, and you have to register yourself in PropTiger.com, and the sales expert will get in touch with you.
Just to add on to that, Sneha, I would like to also say, well, when you're coming through PropTiger, we've been partners for a long time, and we've been doing business together for a long time. So they have a very special relationship with us. So today, when you're coming, whoever is a participant today, and if you're coming through them, they have been briefed on what you're going to get as an offer. A very interesting schemes has been rolled out through PropTiger. You can always connect with them and connect with us as well. Yeah.
Sure, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Pareek, is there any hidden charges that PropTiger takes?
So yeah, it's absolutely nothing like that. I mean, PropTiger being an authorized and registered RERA channel partner, I mean, we have our presence across India, and the best part is that we can do the kind of developers we are working in, even they are present in across India. So we have some sort of upper hand in terms of that, in terms of the relationship, in terms of the rapport we maintain with the developer. So I mean, there is nothing like hidden charges, and even there are a lot of customers who have a myth that if we go through some sort of CPs, we might have to pay extra. But that's just a myth. That's just a hoax. I mean, that's a round way actually. We give services, I mean, free of cost, and which I've mentioned before as well, like starting from assisting them to visit, even helping them out in final negotiations, and even after sale services, whether it's a loan part, whether it's a documentation part. So no, absolutely not. There is no any hidden charges, and there is no extra charges which PropTiger bear. We'll always make sure to get the best deal for our customers.
Thank you, Mr. Pareek. Now, well, that's all the time we have at hand. Thank you, viewers, for an overwhelming response. We are glad we could pick up a few questions and give you clarity on those. Now, before we close, let's hear a closing remark from each of my panelists, beginning with you, Mr. Anil.
Thank you so much, PropTiger, to arranging this webinar section. I hope I have answered most of the questions, me and my team. If you have any questions, you can get in touch with PropTiger, or if you have anything, you can just go to our website www.concordegroup.co.in. As I said earlier, we are a 20-year-old company. We are a second generation taking over, and we have a lot of projects lined up for the next year coming up, and we hope you like the project and you will book it. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank
Mr. Akshay.
Thank you, PropTiger, again, and for this beautiful platform where we can actually address ourselves very well. And again, one last advice to the customers today is that today, with this market, loans being at the lowest rate across what we have today, what the loan rates are, repo rates have been dropped so much, it's the best time for you to invest. Irrespective where you should invest today. That's what it is. Irrespective where you need to invest today. That is very important. If you're looking at your home, don't wait up. Wait up is only going to increase your pricing, and you're going to lose up to around 5 to 10% of your pricing when you're not investing today. Thank you again, and we look forward to catering to your needs. Yeah.
Well,
Thank
Mr.
you,
Akshay.
PropTiger, for giving us the platform. We have answered a lot of interesting questions today. It's nice to see that people are well aware of the situations and the conditions of the market. You can download our app. Adding to this, you can download our Concorde Auriga app from the Play Store for the details. If I've missed out something, and we are always available to help you out along with PropTiger.
Yeah, hi.
Thank you, Mr.
So
Akshay.
lastly, I would like to say, I mean, between all this pandemic, the good news what we have got recently is about the 20,000 crore of economic package. So I believe that is boosting the market. I mean, the market shares are increasing on that basis. So the things are coming back to normal. And so yeah, it's a positive sign for all of us. And I mean, apart from that, I mean, I would like to thank all our guests. Plus, I would like to thank the entire Concord team who have answered to all the queries so smoothly. I mean, anything left like any questions which is left out, we are happy to assist you. Please reach out to us. Thanks to all of you.
Thank you, panelists, for quite an engaging and insightful session. Our viewers definitely have benefited. We'll pick up all the unanswered questions as well and get back to our viewers. Unfortunately, this was all that time allows for now. Till yet another episode of Project Talk, stay safe, stay healthy. Goodbye.
Thank you.